So apparently we're getting rich and we can almost afford houses again? Hey, I'm John B. I give you the hacks from mortgage and media. That's why you follow me. So let's start here. Americans under 40 saw their wealth increase by 80% last year. That was a massive jump and it was due mostly to stocks. But here's the thing. One big reason that we had money to put into stocks was because of COVID relief checks back a couple years ago. And we were smart enough to invest it. But since we basically didn't have anything to begin with, it makes our wealth look like it went way up. And even though the wealth of Gen X and Boomers went up by a much smaller percentage than that, this 9.5 trillion that we're worth now is a fraction compared to what they have. Oh, and apparently we're almost to a point where we can afford mortgages again. This comes as a shock because all these other reports say that affordability is as bad as it's been in decades. What these guys are saying is if rates drop down to 6.25% in the next quarter, it means people making between 100 and 110,000 can afford the average size house. Though I think we need a big asterisk on the word affordable because $100,000 a year is about 25 grand more than most people make. Not to mention the CPI report last week showed that inflation is not going down quite as quickly as we were hoping. And that probably means the Federal Reserve is going to have to keep their rates higher longer than we expected. And of course on that news, mortgage rates jumped to their highest point in a couple of months, keeping us pretty far away from that 6.625 that's supposedly affordable. Oh, and not to mention retail sales ended up being way worse than we expected. This could be bad news because consumer spending is basically the only thing that's keeping this economy afloat. So seeing these numbers come down could be a sign of bigger weaknesses. We need to keep our eye on that. And like I said, mortgage rates spiked up over 7%, and there's a good chance we might not see that change over the next several days. But we've got home sales and a few Fed speeches coming up, so stay tuned and I'll keep you posted.